Many of us have gone through phases in our lives, and there's been points where some of us may not have known who we really are. And when I say that, I mean like your identity, your personality, your real personality, not your inside outside personality. I'm talking about you as a person. And that can be quite fearful. It can be quite frightening, not fearful. It can be quite frightening when you can't figure it out. At one point when I was in the 10th grade, a teacher asked us who we were. I can't remember what class this was, but I remember that feeling of terror when I didn't know. I couldn't remember who I was. I don't know who I was because for years I had been trying to adapt and adopt different people's personalities and different personas because I wasn't confident in my own, in who I was. I thought it would be cooler to be The Rock today and then maybe I'll be John Cena tomorrow. I did adopt a lot of wrestling personalities because I was a wrestling fan at the time. And so what I saw on TV, I wanted to be, especially if it was like, oh, they got that confidence. I want that confidence. So I'm going to be like them today. But what happens is if you do that enough, if you follow other people or try to be other people enough, you will lose yourself because you will forget who you are. You'll forget what you like. You'll forget how you walk. You'll forget how you talk. And you'll become a whole nother person that you're not even meant to be. That's not even you. And it can be quite exhausting. You'll live life tired. I remember by the end of the day, I felt absolutely exhausted because trying to pretend to be a person all day is tiring. The mask falls off and I fall back to whatever personality I actually have, my actual personality. And I also did it partly because I wanted to be accepted by certain people. And I didn't have to do any of that. It's better to stand out in a good way and be the trendsetter than to be the trend follower. And it's better to be the person that other people want to be rather than trying to be these other people. And so over time, it took me years. It was like years and years and years before I finally really got rid of that habit. And now I'm at a point where I know who I am. I know my personality. I'm okay. I'm confident with who I am. I'm confident with my personality. But that's not to say that you can't look at other people and want to achieve what they've achieved or, get to the traits that they have. Like maybe they are compassionate. You want to be more compassionate? Hey, look at other people who are compassionate and be like, hey, I want to be more compassionate. That's different than I want to be exactly like that person. Two different things. Or that person has extreme confidence. I want to be confident like that. And you try to learn why or how they're confident. And you develop your own confidence. But those are different. That's different than trying to be that person or trying to follow a trend or anything like that. But I say all that to say, find your own identity. Set your own path. Because once you create your own path, you will have control over that. You can influence other people in the way that you want to influence people. And when you have that power, when you have that ability, use it for good, okay? Don't become a cult leader, but use it to do some good, and try to help other people form their own paths. And it's not to say that you can't be a fan of somebody. You can be a fan of anybody you want. But never let that person influence you to the point where you want to become them. Because at that point, that means you have no self-identity. You have no self-confidence. Or you have little self-confidence. So, not self-confidence, self-esteem, self-esteem. So, please find your identity. Find your path. Carve your own path. Develop that type of, leadership for yourself. Lead yourself. A lot of people want to lead other people but can't even lead themselves to water. So be what you want to be, the person you want to be. If you're not fully confident within your personality or who you are, your real personality or your real persona, develop it, mold it, create it, add to it, work on what needs to be worked on. That's what you can do. And you make it what you want it to be. Push it to the level that you want it to be at. Don't try and pretend. People say fake it till you make it. Well, faking it till you make it will just wear you out. And sometimes even if you make it, at the end of the day, you're still never developed inside because you've been faking it this whole time. So when you're actually under the lights, you got to perform, you freeze up because you've been faking it this whole time. You weren't really singing at the practices, so you're letting your understudy, take all the weight. And now you got to perform in front of everybody. You can't do it. You don't even remember your lines. So make your identity, mold yourself, and push yourself to become the person you want to become. Find your identity and make it what you want it to be. Make yourself be who you want to be. Because that's the only way you'll ever really be satisfied with yourself in that way. Because if you just go throughout life lost, you will stay lost. And I would advise everybody not be lost, because being lost is not fun, and being off the beaten path it's not good. So I advise everybody to do that. And that's all I gotta say is find your identity.